There's a single locust defending the facilities. I think this one's gonna be pretty easy. Oh God! Oh, what's happening? Oh my God! Where are my weapons? Why can't I fire? Oh my God! He's taking everything out. We gotta get the hell out of here. We lost to a locust. Welcome back to a very special Let's Play series. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we're returning to the world of Battletech for MechWarrior 1. Between the fall of the ancient Star League and the rise of the heirs of the Steiner Davian, there lived an age of war unlike any before or since. 5 great houses struggled fiercely for sole possession of the inner sphere of man. Across this troubled starscape marched mighty machines of war like titans through great storms of fire. It was an age of high adventure. MechWarrior, combat simulator, role-playing system. Oh, those are actually credits. Okay, it's just MechWarrior. This is the first MechWarrior game ever made, so it started the whole franchise, and I think for me, like, MechWarrior 2 was where the franchise really kind of picked up. I mean, MechWarrior 1, as we will see here today, is fairly primitive, although it has some features that took decades for other MechWarrior games and other Battletech games to adopt. So even though this is an old game and it has a huge soft spot in my heart, this game was part of the Battletech Power Hits trio, which is, if you've watched my other Battletech videos, I've talked about it. It's where I was first able to play the Crescent Hawk's Revenge, which is my favorite Battletech DOS game. Also, the Crescent Hawk's Inception was in that set, which is the predecessor to Crescent Hawk's Revenge. And this game actually came out after Crescent Hawk's Inception, before Crescent Hawk's Revenge. So it was the second Battletech game ever made for DOS. And like a lot of old DOS games, it has some basic copy protection here. So you'd have to actually open the manual here. In the initiation sequence for this mech, the following code check requires what authorization? So in response to the code check, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Marauder, what would the authorization code be? Well, I happen to have the manual here, so let's take a quick look. All right, so here is the manual. We have Locust, Jenner. You can see the authorization code checks are listed here. And the mechs are being listed in terms of weight capacity. I love these like old classic Battletech drawings. The Locust and stuff and Warhammer, they were the lost or the unseen mechs for a long time because of some copyright troll, Harmony Gold, that basically just sort of screwed over FASA and used courts to just have troll cases and stuff. But nowadays, the Locust is back in the modern Battletech games. Anyway, the Marauder isn't on this page. Here we go. Here are the heavier mechs. We got the Rifleman, we have the Warhammer, and of course, the Marauder. So I think it was Bravo Alpha Delta was the code check, if I remember correctly. So Renegade should be our response. Before we go, though, I just want to see... Yeah, the only other mech in the game is the Battle Master. Interestingly, the game mentions mechs like the it mentions the Spider, which is a 4-legged mech, but that's not in the game. And the game's code, people have looked at the code, it actually contains code for the Atlas and the Wasp, even though those mechs aren't in the game either. But anyway, let's go ahead. Renegade was our response code, I think, right? All right, Renegade. Can I spell it? Yes, I can. Authorization confirmed. Glad to have you aboard. Burning purpose, etched forever in the mind as slow curves pulled upward into spikes, dark wings framing an almost human death skull. Almost, but for the fangs of the beast, a crest for killers. Find it and you find the chalice and the dark wing. Only 5 years remain. So basically in this game, you play as a guy named Gideon Braver, who was on a planet. You were part of the royalty on the planet, and a gang of mercenaries showed up and like killed your family or something like that. And you now have started your own mercenary company and now have to train up, solve the mystery of who those people were, find them and kill them, basically. So it's a really neat game here. So first of all, I mean, this is sort of like the news net. You can go in and just check out the news. So here's actually the news, the backstory for basically our character here. So Anders Moon, that's the planet where we used to be royalty. But it says, with funeral services for Duke Vanderburg, that's my father, barely over, an arrest warrant has been issued for his son, Gideon B. Vanderburg. Charges of conspiracy and crimes against the state have been brought against the young Vanderburg by clan leaders Jairus McBrinn. Vanderburg has not been seen since the senior council voted last month to postpone choosing a new duke for 5 years. If he was not guilty, he would not have run, Jairus said. Jairus has recently been elected to an advisory position within the senior council. Cool thing about this game is you can just go and read like random news messages. And the game does make reference to things like, I think like the Wolf's Dragoons and stuff like that, like actual Battletech, lore is in this game. And it's, you don't encounter the Wolf's Dragoons, but you can just read about them. You can also see my reputation there with the different families, Kurita, Steiner, Merrick, Lio, Davian. You can see my wealth. You can see my reputation is risky, and I'm only 18 years young. You can also go here and check out your mechs. So we start with the Jenner. Oh, wow, this thing is in good shape. So normally, and you'll see as we get into combat, like your armor and stuff would be damaged. But like my armor, like nothing looks damaged to the naked eye. Nothing is yellow, nothing is red. But I guess we will repair up the armor. You can see it kind of shading in a bit. Life support, I will leave. So it costs 19,000 to fix. I don't know about that. 15,000, that'd be an extra like 35,000 to fix those two things. I'm going to be cheap and leave it as is. Because here's the thing, we're probably only going to do a mission or two with this Jenner before we actually sell it. And I'm actually not even going to bother reloading it because 12 SRM packs, I feel like that's pretty good. That's probably enough for us to get through. I don't think we'll need any more than that. You can also buy mechs. Oh my god, there's like a Battle Master already. Yeah, you can see like this guy's been damaged a bit more. 61,000 to repair. And you can see his machine gun's been junked. He's got a damaged heat sink. What else is for sale? Phoenix Hawks. A couple of Phoenix Hawks are for sale there. 3 million. That's actually not a terrible price. In fact, actually, I almost could buy that. But no, I'm going to start with the Jenner like you're supposed to. Now the main way you earn money is through mercenary contracts, and you can see we're on a Kurita planet here. Now, I feel like this game is what started my hatred for working for the Draconis Combine as a mercenary, because they actually pay you garbage. Like, you can negotiate contracts in this. You can say, actually, I want 300,000 and I want 11% of confiscated equipment and 10% payable immediately. And you can try and negotiate with the Draconis Combine. But look at how crappy that is. Yeah, they're giving us 270,000 C-bills, but 1% of all confiscated equipment, we're not doing that. We're not working for the Draconis Combine. They pay such little wages. It is criminal. It is literally criminal. Instead, we're going to be going somewhere else. So one really cool feature of this game is you can basically go anywhere you want in the inner sphere. Now, there's only like 100 different planets, but these planets have different ecosystems. They have different amounts of wealth. And actually, one thing that's really cool that we're not going to do today, but I think we'll do in the next video, because this will be a few parts to get through this game, is you can actually just forego being a mercenary and you can become a merchant. Where you go to planets and buy mechs cheap, and then you go to other planets and sell them for a huge profit. So there's a whole mercenary element that you can engage in here. So we will be doing that eventually. But before we do any of that, let's head to the local tavern and see what kind of riffraff they have on this planet of Irizun. So here's our bartender here. So when you're in the tavern, you can try and recruit crew. So here's a guy, he sucks. His name is Bob True. I am not interested in Bob True. This guy also sucks. An interesting thing about this game is you can hire crew, and they do get better as they go through combat missions, but it's actually way easier to just hire crew who are good than to hire people who are bad and hopefully train them up. So like, yeah, all these people really suck. Poor, nobody else is around. All right, let's order a drink and see what the bartender says here. Pirates that fly a skull and wings marker. No, can't say as I've ever heard of that, though the Grey Death Legion flies a skull, but they're not pirates, just regular mercs. Of course, that depends on who you're asking. Duke Rickle might not think too highly of them these days. So, all right, that guy was not helpful at all. Nope, don't know of any skull and wing crests, but if it's a pirate crest used in a curative Davian area, there's one man who'll know for sure. Grig Griez. Of course, asking him about it may be the last thing a body does. Oh, maybe we can find this Grig fella. Been pretty quiet around here. Check back later. All right, I guess we cannot. All right, so the first order of business is going to be getting off Urizen, and what we're going to be doing today is doing a few missions to try and build up a little bit of currency. So let's check out some planets here. Once a plentiful aggro world, now war-torn. That does not sound like the place you want to go. Aerospace industry, somewhat depressed by war, also sounds kind of poor. Home of the Norse, battle mech works. I like the sound of that. I mean, we could cut to the chase and go right to New Avalon here, the capital. So capitals tend to be very wealthy. But the farther you go, see, it cost me 95,000 to go to New Avalon. Whereas if I go over here where the Norse battle mech works are, it's only 45,000. Now, fun fact, if you actually sell your mech and you don't even own a mech, then you don't really have to pay anything in terms of travel. It's like $2,000 to travel if you don't own any mechs. Anyway, we will go ahead and travel to Marduk. Take us there. Dropship. A dropship departs for a faster than light jump ship, and then we jump there, and before you know it, we're in Marduk. Let's actually check with the bartender, see if he has anything interesting to say, actually. I'm pretty quiet around here. All right. I like how, by the way, if you look at the bartender, he's got a gun on the left there behind the bar. There's just like a rifle sitting right there next to his liquor. I love the Battletech universe. It's so shady, and it's awesome. All right, let's check out some basic contracts here. So this agreement between House Davian and the Blazing Aces outlines the contract of defense of a supply depot. But look, they're already paying me more. I think Curator started like 100,000 and 1%. So this is a much better house to work for. This or House Steiner, I think, are the best. Defense of a weapons factory with one medium mech. That's out of our ability set. We only have a Jenner, so we want to go in to something kind of basic. So when you negotiate, basically, I really like the fact that you can negotiate in this game, but I feel like the negotiating mechanics are pretty basic. All you need to do is max out your numbers to some insane amount, submit it, and then they'll send you basically what they're willing to pay. Now, one thing I did is I reduced the amount that I want paid immediately, and that actually can be good and bad. If I fail the mission, I don't get that money, but I'm going to succeed in the mission, so I'm okay giving up that sort of safety net. So 210,000, 12% of confiscated equipment. You can actually renegotiate if you want. Like, I can try and bump these up a bit. Now, they couldn't come back with a worse contract if they don't like my style. Oh my God, I got an extra 40 grand out of them. All right, accept. That's pretty good, actually. I'm willing to say that's quite generous. Now, we do only have one pilot. I'm poor and poor. Hey, how do they know? I'm better than you'd think. But as you get more pilots, obviously, you can assign them more mechs. We're just going in a Jenner. And let's see if we can earn a little bit of reputation with the Federated Sons here. We want to get on their good side. Them and the Lyran Commonwealth, House Steiner. We want to be on both their good sides. So this is the game. It's sort of like a first-person tank simulator. You can see, let's see, overhead views of the map. Well, here's my damage. So here's, just a readout of my mech. You can see an overhead view of the map, and you can see where I am and any enemies are. You can go back to the first-person mode. You can do things like zoom in. You can actually see readouts of enemy damage. So there's all sorts of like cool tactical things you can do here. Basically, the strategy for this game is pretty simple. It's called shoot at the legs. So when you get close enough to the enemy, you just alpha strike their leg, and if you destroy it, then you destroy them. So, I mean, we could get into more sophisticated battles, and I'll probably try that a little when I have a bit more money, but especially in these early missions, you really don't want to screw up. The other thing you can do is you can jump. We do have jump jets, but I also feel like that is just like death. If we try and jump, I feel like you can land and bust your legs off. So we're not going to do anything too risky initially. Maybe the last fight of this video today, we'll do some kind of like crazy tactic. Basically, I just want to shoot this guy's legs off. There we go. Oh, we shot both his legs off. All right, so he's just a husk, torso rolling around on the ground, and that's it. That's the whole battle. So salvage 326,000, payment 235,000. We made like 500,000 sea bills on that little run. And oh, here we go. A weathered old tech by the name of Garrett is willing to talk about Unit Crest all day for a 10 sea bill bottle of Singhai brandy. Yeah, the Grey Death Legion's got a skull, but so does Hansen's Rough Riders. And Narthal's Raiders got something that might look like a skull with wings, but it's supposed to be a bull skull, though, with the big horns. Now, pirates, Helmar Valask, he's a full-on pirate king, and he flies a skull, but it's got a crossed swords behind his wings. And he's clear out forward of the Combine, where it meets Steiner. All right, so that might be a little hint about where we have to go next. I like how the game just sort of drops like random interactions in with NPCs. But you can see, okay, one of our arms got damaged a little bit. You can see our right arm actuator has suffered some light damage. Go ahead and repair our armor. Life support is lightly damaged. Does anything else really need to be repaired? I say no. I say we're in the business of just, not wasting money when we don't need to. So we're a very cheap mercenary outfits, but we have successfully passed our first mission. Now, if you go in here, you can see that House Davian now has a positive attitude towards us. You can see that House Lio has a negative attitude because we've taken a contract against him. So opinions change fast in this game. Any interesting news? Funeral services. Personal message from Jordan Rowe. Goodwill and love from all of us on your birthday. We wish you success in your mission. JM is working hard to solidify his power base, but there are still many loyal to V. Good luck. All right, so secret messages from our home base. People are hoping that we will succeed in clearing our family's name. In a daring attack, a band of pirates descended on the mining world of the Great Gorge and occupied one of the major mining complexes. While local militia were dealing with this dangerous hostage situation, a second group of pirates attacked the armory. Much of the weaponry and munitions there was stolen. Resulting confusion, most of the raiding party escaped. Positive identification of the bandits was not made. Interesting. I wonder if they're the ones we're looking for. Be it known, a price of 200,000 sea bills is being levied against the person of Grigrias for his numerous crimes of murder, rapine, destruction of personal property, arson, grand theft, assault of Draconis, government officials, counterfeiting, forgery, piracy. Jeez, guy does it all. Against the state, too numerous to mention. Interested parties can obtain information regarding the last known whereabouts of this most heinous villain at the offices of the Gallatin V Bureau. All right, so that's our next destination, Gallatin V, because then we can hunt down this Grig fellow. All right, well, at least we have a destination in mind. I say we do another mission or two before we really get going. So the interesting thing about this game is that it is totally non-linear. In the other Battletech games that we've played, that I've played on my channel, like Krestnox Inception, Krestnox Revenge, there have been missions that you have to do. The interesting thing about this game is you can sell your Jenner and just straight up do the entire campaign without it, go through all the little story beats. And then you can buy a mech at the end and go into the final fight. It's only the final fight where you have to pilot a mech. But for us, I feel like that's kind of a boring way to go through the game. So today I want to go through a little bit of combat here. I'm going to sort of negotiate these guys up, see how high I can get this. 380,000 and 14%. I like those numbers. I will take that mission. And off we go into the battlefield in our giant egg ship, which is a drop ship for anyone familiar with Battletech lore here. I've always found it funny how drop ships basically just look like eggs. So destruction of mech facilities. So interestingly, in missions like this, we can actually go and try and destroy that facility right in front of me, or I can just destroy the garrison mech forces. And it's a locust. There's a single locust defending the facilities. I think this one's going to be pretty easy. So first thing, by the way, what I'm doing in my combat here, I'm deactivating my SRMs because the missiles take time to reach the enemy mech, and the Locust moves so fast, I need instant hit weapons like a medium laser, and kaboom! And, oh god, he is machine gunning me. He doesn't like me. Oh god. Oh no. Fire! Fire at him! Oh no! He killed my weapons! Uh-oh. We have to retreat. Yes. I lost a mission! Oh no, my second mission. Here I am bragging about how good I am at the game. 46%. We're displeased with your inability to achieve even simple military goals. It will be difficult to trust you with future responsibility. I don't blame you. We lost to a Locust. So we're back to... So now my attitudes are very poor. It's neutral with Davian and negative with others. So that really screwed us over. Okay, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to travel somewhere. So let's take a look at our mech, see what kind of damage we suffered here. Oh man, life support. Man, that Locust took us to town. Holy Jesus. Now if we go to sell our mech, we only get 2 million. Here's a fun little tactic in this game. If you go to poor planets and sell your mechs there, people pay a lot more money. So let's just find a planet that's really poor. Aerospace industry. We want to find like a backwater agricultural planet. Oh, that's Anders Moon. Okay, actually, I'll show you guys something funny. Here's the reason we can't go to Anders Moon right now. We're gonna have to save our game, like we've been making such good progress. Game 1. All right, if you try and go to Anders Moon while you are still a wanted criminal, this is what happens. You go there, you think, oh yeah, everything's gonna be okay. At the port, you are recognized almost instantly, are picked up by local police within minutes. The charges against you and your family, phony though they may be, go unchallenged in court. Helpless in prison, you are an easy target for assassins. Assassins is spelled wrong, using a prison riot as cover. Sudden death is grim reality in the successor states of the 31st century. So we failed. Don't go to Anders Moon until you successfully have evidence clearing your name. Here's another planet, Greeley. That's kind of cool. We're in like an ice planet. There's many different terrains and tundras and stuff that you can encounter. Anyway, let's try and find a poor planet that isn't my my home planet. Okay, Mallory's World. Once plentiful, now war-torn. I like the sounds of that. I think they will pay more than 2.3 or 2.7 million for my gen or whatever it was. This is a quality mech here, folks. Come and get it. An authentic Jenna. 3.3 millions. I accept your offer, sir. Enjoy the mech. Now, the thing is, buying mechs on planets like this is similarly price prohibitive. So it's like I can't afford a Rifleman. But on a richer planet, I totally could. Anyway, since we have now sold our mech because we failed a mission, I think it is now a good time to find, what was it, Galadon 5? Yeah, Galadon 5 and travel there. So notice it only cost me 7,500. That's 3 jumps, 3 hyperspace jumps to travel. So now's a good time to travel because we don't have any heavy equipment that we're lugging along with us. So off we go. Galadon 5 ho. Let's find this Grig fellow. All right, I'm going to check the bars first and see what they say. Order a drink. Been pretty quiet around here. Check back later. Okay, maybe if we go to the government offices here. And this is the hot tip we're looking for. The arch villain and pirate Grig Grias was last known to be basing his operations on an uncharted planet out beyond Land's End. His most recent atrocities have been in this area. His known sphere of activity ranges from Land's End to the border areas of the Federated Suns. All right, well, that's where we need to go. I wonder if they will even... they'll give us a mission even though we have no mech. But I don't think we want that. So every time I played this game as a kid, I always worked for Davian or Steiner because they pay so much better. I feel like if you played the game working for Kurita, it's like hard mode. Like, they dislike us, that's why they're giving us such bad rates right now. But honestly, like, even if they liked you, you just get paid so much less than working for the Davian, House Davian or House Steiner, that it almost just doesn't seem worth it to give them any business. Also, we should just check. if there are any good crew members. These people. Hey, Bob True is here. Is this guy following us? Is he following us around the galaxy, hoping we'll employ him? All right. So we want to go to Land's End. Let's see here. Is that is also in Kurita space? All right, travel. Now's a good time to travel since, ain't got a mech. All right, so interestingly, this planet, you cannot take contracts. So not every planet has contracts. It sort of depends on the wealth of the planet. They're selling a single Phoenix Hawk for 5.3 million, which we almost could afford, but again, that's definitely overpriced because we're in a poor planet. Let's find this Grig fellow. See if the bartender knows anything. You want to meet one of Grig's men? Are you crazy? I suppose it might be possible. Come back tomorrow. If he wants to meet you, he'll be here. By the way, this drink's going to cost you triple. Risking my neck isn't covered in the regular price. All right, thank you, bartender. The same bartender on every single planet. Eye contact and a subtle nod of the bartender's head tells the location of a grim, bearded man sitting in a dark corner. His manner is rude, with a barely contained wildness, as if he might explode into violence at any minute. The Mauser and gray M27 needle pistol on his thigh and the vibro blade in his belt promise that this is possible. After a long interview, he finally gives in and says Grig can sometimes be reached on Tabayama. All right, Tabayama's where we're going then, I guess. We got to meet this Grig guy, I think, before we get back into the mercenaries business. So Tabayama, where the hell is that? Oh, also in the Draconis Combine, all right. Oh, it's nearby. All right, off to Tabayama to find this Grig fellow. Why are we looking for this criminal anyway? I kind of forgot. Anyway, discreet inquiries about Grig-Gria's finally produce results. Finally is also spelled wrong, right? There's supposed to be 2 L's. Who wrote this? 2 heavily armed and competent-looking thugs provide escort to a secret underground base outside the city. The scene is reminiscent of an ancient Arabian Night holovid. Entertainers, naked but for a few strips of silk, twirl and pulse to the central rhythms of an exotic band. I don't remember this part of the game. All about men and women in various states of undress lie on soft cushions, eating, drinking, and indulging in any whim. I'm beginning to think this Grig guy is not so bad. Maybe we want to be a part of his crew. On a dais above it all, watching with merciless black eyes, sits the host and master, Grig-Grias. He throws the best parties. His voice is thick and sinister, and his conversation carries no small talk. It's straight to the point. Does your winged skull look like this, he rasps, activating a comm screen? It looked exactly like that. I will trade you this information if you are willing. You must carry some merchandise to Dustball for me. My techs will seal it to your body with a plastic pseudo-flesh bandage. When you deliver the package, my agent will give you what you seek. Well, I've not been, above smuggling, so why not? Grig's eyes gleam. That is most excellent. All right, any good mechs to buy? No mechs for sale, actually. Here's another fun fact. If you do bring mechs to like a poor planet and try to sell them, sometimes the planet will say that they don't have enough money. And so it's like, that's that. You actually, you can only sell poor planets a couple of mechs before they run out of money. Dustball is way over there. Okay, here's an idea. Before we go to Dustball, why don't we stop over briefly in Luthien? Let's buy a mech and then let's sell it. Let's join the ranks of the merchant caste here. We're gonna buy a mech. What's the most expensive mech we can afford? That, but then we might not be able to travel. How about the Phoenix Hawk instead? 4 million. Sold. All right, we have a Phoenix Hawk. Let's see if we can make some profit on this. We bought it for a cool 4 mil. And now we are going to, where was it? Planet Steiner, Dustball. Where the elite satisfy their most wicked desires. All right, 70,000 to travel there. So we only have 900,000 left. I mean, my guy's a millionaire. Why am I worried? He's like a trust fund kid. He's so rich. The pleasure domes of Dustball are said to be capable of satisfying any desire, as long as you have money. In the midst of this hedonistic carnival, a small, unremarkable man approaches and identifies himself as Brown, an agent of Grigrias. This way, he says, and moves into the crowds. Soon the lights and people are left behind, and the bright streets give way to dark alleys and disrepair. Through a battered door across an empty warehouse lies an office with a table and a meager supply of medtech gear. In a few moments, the pseudo-flesh packet is removed, and Brown steps back, wiping his hands with a rag. And now, as your payment, Grig was most explicit about that. The rag disappears. You find yourself staring into the barrel of a neck-jamma laser pistol. It seems you are to be eliminated. Well, we have two options here, fight or flight. I say fight. A moment is frozen in time as muscles honed for battle snap into classic dragon whip's tail spinning kick. Wait, I totally messed that up. Snap into the classic dragon whip's tail spinning kick. That is a weird phrase. The laser, spelled wrong, spouts fire as dragon and target meet, and the searing trail of pain lancing up arm and shoulder tell the tale, wounded but still alive. This is like heavy in metaphor. It's like hard to follow what's happening. The pistol ricochets off the far wall and falls to the floor. Its recharge light glowing like a bright red gem. In that second, the pseudo-flesh packet bursts like a fungus spreading its spores. A white, nearly transparent mist blossoms from the pouch. Time to get the hell out of here. The packet distraction allows time for a fast exit. Brown is hard on your heels. The shadow of the warehouse drifts across his face as he stares back in the little room. That bastard, he shouts with fury. After all these years, his breathing slows and his tone changes to a death march. I don't know who you are to Grig or why he wants you dead so bad. He'd kill me too, but I do know he was worried you might know about a ship, a jump ship we sometimes use for smuggling. His gaze becomes furtive. Perhaps I can turn the screw on old Grease Boy. It's called the Stone Arrow, he says as he melts into the darkness. Then from the shadows, watch your back. He won't give up so easy. Wait, so the guy did tell me what I needed to know. I wonder why the sudden change of heart. I wonder why he was like, okay, here's the information you want. So wait, is there a name of a ship? The jump ship used for smuggling. Old Grease Boy, it's called Stone Arrow. Okay. Well, first things first, let's get rid of this mech or see if we can turn a profit on this. So if we go to sell this, 5.6 million, that's 1.6 million of pure profit. That's awesome. All right, we just made some money. How much are we up to now? We have terrible reputation throughout the galaxy, but somehow we've earned 6.5 million bucks. All right, let's see if, usually the bartender will fill in the gaps if you don't know where else to go. Here you go. Jump ship called the Stone Arrow. Weird. Also spelled wrong. Various typos in this game. Nope, don't remember hearing of it before, but I could find out. Cost you 25 C-bills for a look and 75 more if I find something. Well, since I just made 1.5 million C-bills, give me the $75 package, please. I'm willing to splurge on that. All right, what do you got? Turns out the Stone Arrow comes here from time to time. Heard from a friend of mine who what runs a place over by the port. Nobody's seen captain nor crew for a spell, but get this, captain's name Jack Kangaroo, or Kangaroo Jack, but that ain't his real name, you see? No shit. It's really Willard. Whose real name is Kangaroo Jack? Willard Puritan. Ain't that a kick? Turns out he's got a brother named Old Wendell that drives a Scorpion for Smithen's Chinese bandits. They're pulling garrison for Merrick on Mosiro. All right, so Mosiro is the planet we now need to go to. But I say before we actually do that, I think what we should do to wrap up today's video, our goals for the rest of the day, should be to buy a new mech. So we're going to go over to Tharkad here, the capital. So they'll have the best mechs for sale. Let's, or the cheapest mechs for sale, as it turns out. The richest planets have cheapest mechs. Supply and demand. Oh, I didn't know Tharkad was an ice world. That's interesting. I just assumed all the home worlds, the sort of capital cities, were all like lush green paradises. Anyway, let's buy a mech here. Let's do a little bit more combat so we can end our first video today on some MechWarrioring and not just totally have it be a story video. So I guess my options are Rifleman or Phoenix Hawk. Wow, that is a cheap Rifleman. But 1.4 million to repair, or 1.14. He needs gyros and armor. Okay, and my other option is a Phoenix Hawk. You know what? I don't like either of those options. But I was gonna say we'll do something else. No, I'll buy your Rifleman. Alright. And let's see what it actually costs to repair this guy up. To repair 360,000. Geez, do I want to do that again? I could just leave it at 1. Then we can armor up. There we go. All right. So as long as I don't take damage, I should be okay. But in theory, if I take damage to my center torso, I could potentially go down. But that's okay. And I don't really want to buy ammo either. I could reload my mech. I guess it's only 1,600. All right, we will do that. All right. So we have a Rifleman. Now, the Riflemen are good, like, long-distance mechs, but they don't have a ton of armor, so this will be kind of interesting. I am going to go ahead and save my game in case I screw things up again. So we at least have a save point here, and I think House Steiner has no real opinion of us one way or the other. Yeah, they're totally neutral. Let's see if we can do a mission or two for them and try and earn a little bit of respect from them. Defense of a field comm unit, disabling of a field comm unit, and that's it. All right, let's take the defense. So the defense is actually kind of interesting. On defensive missions, the AI will beeline towards whatever building you're supposed to try and defend. And so what you can do is actually get out of the way and let the enemy run past you. And then when it has its back to you, you can just unload on it and the enemy will just get demolished. So there's a little tactic for you on defense missions. So it's kind of a low risk mission. We also have to actually equip our mechs. Kind of a low risk mission for us in our damaged Rifleman. And we're going up against the light mech. So, you know, how bad could it really be? How bad could this be? We'd have to really screw it up for things to go south. All right. Defense of the field comm unit. We're going up against a Jenner. So I am going to sort of move to the side and let him by. Now, the only downside to this tactic of letting him kind of go around before we unload on him is that he's faster than us. And he could run by us and then just head to the supply depot before we have a chance to get there and protect it. So we do kind of have to try and engage him. But notice how he's kind of ignoring us. Okay. I think we're almost close enough to damage him. Maybe? Okay, let's see. He's exposing his rear to us. And in Battletech, rear armor tends to be quite weak. Damn it. Oh no, he's getting around us. My tactics. My precious tactics. Okay, it's okay. He probably doesn't have the firepower necessary to actually destroy the supply depot, so we're just gonna have to hurry around this mountain. One thing I always remember in this game is that the game engine, if it's plotting too many mountains, goes slower. So notice how the game is speeding up because there's less on the screen. And I hear him firing on the supply depot, you little bastard. Oh, he destroyed it! Oh, we failed again! We failed again! Oh no! Well, we didn't take any damage. We are not going to have an easy time in this game, I can tell you. Defense of a landing facility. Okay, we got to take some high-risk missions here to rebuild our shattered reputation. So we'll work for anything. 600,000 is actually pretty good. We're going up against a single heavy mech. Once again, trying to defend a supply depot. Oh my god. All right, take 2. This time, this is a battle master. This guy is tougher than us. Oh my god. I have a feeling we're totally going to die. I didn't think I was this rusty for Battletech, but it turns out I'm incredibly rusty. Hold on. What's he doing? He's looking at us. You can also rotate your torso, by the way, like left and right. So that's a thing you can do. We're going to kind of let him walk around us. Let him think that we're no threat. Oh, he's looking right at us, though. Look at that battle master. He hates us. Okay, hold on. We're backing off. We're backing off. We're not even opening fire, even though we could. He's like, hey, that guy's totally Totally, you know, just being a stand-up guy, staying out of the fight. Then when he's not suspicious, we unload on his legs! Oh, we shut down too, I think. Boom, boom. We can take out one leg, then we got this guy. Oh, yeah. Okay. He's going down. Oh, shoot. I keep overheating my mech. God. Oh, no! Okay, here we go. Switch to our autocannons. Come on, baby! Land on the legs. He's just totally disinterested in us, it seems. I'm accelerating here. I should be fast enough to catch up to the Battle Master, because he's a heavy and I'm a medium mech, technically. I think the Rifleman's like right on the cusp of medium or heavy. There we go. Come on! Autocannons! Pierce those legs! Pierce those beautiful legs. Oh my god, both of his legs are red now. I'm trying not to overdo it. I don't want to overheat again. Oh my god, we overheated! No, he's in range of the facility! Stop firing! Oh god! Oh, we're gonna fail this one. Oh, we got him! We got him at the last second. Alright. I thought we were totally gonna fail that one again. Yes, victory! We didn't take any damage and we made over $1 million, I think. Yeah, like 1.78 million C-bills. In fact, not like 1.78. We made precisely 1.78. All right, let's check this thing. We should actually reload the guns because we need ammo. I think we could take 1 or 2 more missions here, and I'll save my game again. This is just a little insurance in case we totally screw up real bad. But let's do 2 more missions. Let's say retrieve captured mechs, defense of a supply depot. So here we'd be going up against 2 enemy mechs for defense. I don't know if we could actually do that. Rescue of a kidnapped victim. 1 medium mech. Defense of a weapons factory. Okay, let's do 1 more defense, I think. Try and pump these guys for everything that they'll give us. Submit. 600,000 is pretty good. Give me a bit more of that sweet confiscated supply. 800,000, holy jeez. I wonder if you over-negotiate. 900,000, okay. You had me at 600,000, but you guys just kept going. What is my reputation with them? Positive. All right. They're gonna pay us like $1 million to destroy 1 mech. We can't let them down. We cannot let them down this time. I have a feeling that in the next video, we should definitely invest in some crewmates because I clearly am screwing this up, just being totally solo. Okay, we're gonna kind of go over this way. See how the game speeds up when you're not looking at anything? Kind of interesting, huh? Because the engine couldn't handle it. Like, there's too much on the screen right now for the primitive 3D engine to process what's going on. If you go over like this, then it can process it. Come back. Anyway, all right, let's aim down a little bit. See what this guy's doing. He's looking at us. I think the autocannon 5s have farther range than they let on. Oh yeah, like I just totally hit him. Okay. So the autocannon 5s, I do remember, because I remember the Marauder was my favorite mech. And I think one thing that made it my favorite is that it had the autocannon 5s, and it could fire from an extreme distance. Yeah, look at this. His legs are red. He's like not moving very fast at all. Come on, go down. Oh yeah, we got him. All right. Success! the riveting world of mech combat. This time we made 1.294. I don't know why I'm doing the math. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we're rocking it. Review our mechs. Let's surveil the damage here. A little bit of armor damage. But we have made 4 million. 4 million in the bank. I think I'm actually even going to repair this gyro a little bit, just to give myself a little bit more security. Anyway, I think we have done pretty good for like an opening video here. So over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be playing my way through MechWarrior 1 here. As you can see, the mech combat is pretty basic, but in the next video, I think what we're going to do is try to actually build up a crew. In the next video, in fact, actually, there's a couple things we're going to do. We might try out going more merchant for a little bit, try and make a bit more bank. Also try and build up a crew, and also try and do a little bit more of the story. So if you have been enjoying today's video, if you want to see more MechWarrior, don't forget to like the video and comment and subscribe and all that jazz. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this look back at Battletech's MechWarrior 1. This is one of my favorite DOS games, even though I think the combat doesn't hold up as well as I do remember as a kid. But there's so many things that are like actually awesome in this game, like the fact that you can take mercenary contracts from any successor state you want. The fact that you can travel through the inner sphere. The fact that you can negotiate contracts, even though the contract negotiation mechanics are a bit basic. The fact that you can buy and maintain a mercenary lance. I mean, even in MechWarrior 2, these features wouldn't be reintroduced for decades. You know, so like the new Battletech game that's out these days, the modern one, from Harebrained Scheme, which is a great game, it has a lot of these mechanics and they've been refined, and it's a much more sophisticated version of this. But this came out in 1989, so I still maintain that this game was revolutionary, way ahead of its time, and it's still sort of a great game to mess around with. So anyway, I will be back next week with part 2. So until then, my friends, you all take care of yourselves, and remember, no guts, no galaxy. Peace. We're displeased with your inability to achieve even simple military goals. It will be difficult to trust you with future responsibility. Yeah, we lost to a locust.